yet, sweetie. Okay, there's a lot of children starving in America, right? I mean, take a look at her. She's American, huh? Really skinny. You want to look like that?
No.
Then eat your nuggets.
This is why you feel poor when you go to the grocery store, even though inflation is actually down. If you bought this and this in 2020, it's like $10. Now, 15. Why so much if inflation isn't up 50%? It's something called a permanent price adjustment. So even though inflation's come down, it doesn't mean that people who previously raised their prices are also going to decrease prices. In fact, they're probably going to keep them high. So the grocery store is going to continue to punish you even though inflation's gone down. So you're not going crazy, you're paying way more.
So even though inflation is getting better, prices are not going down due to permanent price adjustment. And most likely companies are going to take as much money as they can from us, because at the end of the day, these companies only care about profit and not the consumers, since they know we are forced to buy and won't do anything about it. Now let's see how fast food prices have increased in the last year at this CBS clip.
Analysis from Finance Buzz found a McDonald's Quarter Pounder with cheese meal has more than doubled. Taco Bell's beefy 5-layer burrito spiked almost 200%, and a Chipotle Barbacoa burrito is 87% more expensive. Popeyes and Burger King menu items also jumped.
Ridiculous how much fast food prices are going up. I don't know if you have noticed, but sometimes you pay almost the same if you were to go to a restaurant. And on top of that, the meals have gotten smaller. Let me know if you have noticed as well, or is it just me?
Wages up, inflation down, way down, and continuing to go down.
And Biden isn't wrong. Inflation has improved significantly from its high of 9% in 2022 to 2.9% in July.
We can still see that Biden has lowered inflation in the last 2 years. But my question is, then why is food getting so expensive? The math is not adding up. Do you agree that inflation has really gone down? But I found this clip from Fox showing other factors that are affecting food prices. Let's check it out.
The government says the price of poultry and eggs rose at their fastest pace in 2022, due in part to the avian flu and the war in Ukraine. High energy costs are also contributing.
As we can see, even if inflation goes down, it doesn't mean food prices are going down. But I also found out companies are taking advantage and being greedy. Just look at this clip.
These companies jacked up your grocery prices and now they want credit for lowering them slightly? Target, Kroger, Aldi, and more are slashing prices because greedflation finally bit them in the ass. You're saying if people can't afford things, they won't buy them?
You just blew my fucking mind.
A phenomenon these corporations are just now realizing because it's finally hit their bottom line. Yo, they got so greedy that even some wealthy shoppers were like, we're going to Walmart. And while they're framing these price drops as helping Americans, grocery store profits have soared. So much so that the FTC has recommended an investigation, and they've been part of a greater trend of corporate greed that some estimate has caused half of inflation.
So now it makes sense. We are not in inflation, but in greedflation. Hopefully someone does something about this, because this is a crime against the American people. We need to unite and put pressure on these big corporations to bring down their prices. What has this world come to? Now let's see real-life examples of people talking about food prices.
Have y'all seen the trend where people are posting their past grocery orders from a couple years ago and comparing it till now and looking at the inflation rate? This shit is crazy. Read this shit. My husband and I were talking last night about how a 12-pack of drinks is now $9 and how in 2020 I used to buy them 4 for $10. I decided to go back into my Walmart app and see what I was paying for a random grocery order. In January of 2020, I paid $70.20 for 30 items. I added all of them into the cart again and repurchased them today. Today, those 30 items were $165.42. That is a $95.22 price increase in 4 years' time. That's a 135.6% inflation percentage. We can't go on living like this. I can't be the only one who feels this way. You know what? No, you're not the only one. Matter of fact, I ordered some shit from Walmart the other day and spent $100. Let me show you what I got. Now, I probably should have laid everything out so y'all could see it, but as you can see, it's really not that much. All that shit cost me $113 at Walmart, of all places.
Back in 2022, it was $126 to be able to buy the same amount of groceries that he was trying to reorder on his TikTok, which now came out to $414. That is 3 times the amount of money that you were to spend.
I'm convinced that Whole Foods is the Antichrist. I stopped in to grab a couple of things, and would you know that my bill came out to $90? I'm gonna show you exactly what I got. I got some kettle dill pickle chips because I'm a little fatty, 1 tomato, some broccolini, probiotics because when you need to go and you can't, cherries, 1 red potato, 1 jalapeno, 1 lemon, a bag of carrots, some probiotic drink, a piece of salmon, a kind protein bar, some limoncello LaCroix because it's delicious. And, oh, this is probably what did it. This goddamn avocado. They're so expensive. It's expensive to eat out. It's expensive to eat in. What do they all want us to do? Wither away into nothingness? No, that's what we have Ozempic for. Y'all, I'm gonna run around with a piece of sage around the whole Whole Foods market because you got me up.
This is insane. Like, how does this even happen? Are you going through the same thing? Because at this point, we will probably have to live off peanut butter sandwiches and water, if you're lucky to even afford that. But you know what? It doesn't stop at greedflation. We also have shrinkflation, which is really real. Just watch this clip.
Major corporations are gaslighting us, trying to make us believe that what we are seeing is not real, that shrinkflation is not a real thing, or what some people call it, a stealth price rise. Shrinkflation is very real, and this is not the only company who has done it. By the way, their reasoning behind making the bottle look like this was not to change the prices. It was not to give you less. It was to make them more aerodynamic. Doritos used to be 9.75 ounces, 9.25 ounces now, same price. I think we all know cereal is doing it, and they've done it for a very long time. General Mills shrunk the family size boxes from 19.3 ounces to 18.1 ounces. That's like 10%. Cocoa Pebbles went from 20.5 to 19.5. Life Cereal went from 24.8 to 22.3. Bounty changed the number of sheets that you get from 165 to 147. Just look. 52 fluid ounces. Used to be 59. And do you know, these look the same. Do you know why that is? It's because they hollow out a thing so that the plastic is coming up on the bottom like that. So that it looks the same, so that you can't tell. Pringles, look at the difference. Look at that chip. Look at that chip. They had to change the packaging because the chips got smaller. And you know how the chips fit right in the thing. Not only that, but they start about here. Hang on, I'll show you a picture. Look. Great Value toilet paper reduced the number of sheets from 168 down to 120 and also changed the sheet size. This one is my favorite. They just like stop putting stuff there and just create like a blank space. Also, yeah, it's not just gum, it's not just food products, it's not just your laundry detergent and your chips and snacky things. Less inside Oreos, the stuffing.
As we can see, shrinkflation is hell of real. But look at the bright side. Your calorie intake is also shrinking, and maybe our love handles will shrink too. But anyway, let's go back to more people complaining about these prices.
I need you guys to tell me when 3 bags at Target cost $195. Because never in my motherfucking life, ever. And let me just show you what I got. Nothing crazy. Let me just show you that it actually was 1, 2, 3 bags. I'm a hot, sweaty mess. But I just need to know how. I have toilet paper. Yes, I needed these. They're expensive. They were like $11. Ridiculous. I know this is one of the top things. Got it. $5. And I have the receipt. Like, I can look at what the most expensive things were. I had to get detergent, so I got Cascade. I think this was $8. And my big tub of OxyClean, which this is $14 for the big one, $10 for the smaller one. So I went with this one because it's more cost effective over time. All that somehow ended up being like $60, $70 alone. How is this $130? There's nothing in here. There's literally nothing in here. And then when you look at the receipt, like, I get it. It's all like, because they're 14, 11, 12, 10, 15. Holy fucking shit. And I make a decent amount of money for myself. My heart breaks every day knowing that there's people who I'm actually gonna cry. I'm so frustrated with America. This is the empath in me. Because I know there are people who literally have to put their groceries on their credit cards, and I can't stand to see that. I really can't stand to see that. I just think it's asinine. I think, how is inflation even to this point? How is anyone paying for anything? How are we living? How are we getting through life? I mean, anyways, don't go to Target.
We are all frustrated and getting emotional stress over this. And if this keeps going on, what hope do we have? No wonder some people are just giving up. I don't blame you. This country is no longer what it used to be, and is truly heartbreaking.
Yo, this is what $70 gets you at Walmart. Yep, that's it. $70.
Anyone ever do this? Check this out. It says $2.59 for a peeled white onion a pound. Now watch how much it'll be when we check out.
Weigh your item.
1 pound. 86.
Item.
See that? Price is still the same since Wednesday. So let's switch it up and go with a peeled sweet onion and see if this one's accurate.
Move your yellow onion.
Okay, that one's wrong. Sweet tart kiwi fusions, $2.99. $2.99. Split these Sour Patch Kids, $2.99. Sweetest fish. Here we go. 30-cent markup. 30-cent markup.
This is insane. It does not stop. On top of all this, we have companies literally stealing from us by not providing the actual prices. And some of us don't even notice this. Companies are getting really sneaky. Has anyone seen this as well?
I just got back from the grocery store and I went there to get blueberries. There were two options, organic and non-organic. The organic blueberries were $8.99 for the box. The non-organic blueberries were on sale for $1.99. So like I can either buy the non-organic and have cancer later because it's all I can afford right now, or buy the organic and not pay my mortgage. So I'm just curious, like, how are people surviving in this economy? Like, seriously.
Is organic really better for you? I mean, there are so many preservatives, and who knows what in all our food. The only way to really eat healthy would be to grow your own food and go hunting. But that is too much for berries. It would be better to buy a protein source instead.
So I'm walking around Costco here and I'm noticing these prices. For example, these Madras lentils, $15.99. I bought those a year ago for $6.99. I keep getting told that we got, 6-7% inflation. You gotta be kidding.
Every time I go to get groceries, I notice the food prices going up. It is insane. Who else has noticed this as well? But our wages stay the same and makes absolutely no sense.
$43. Let me show you what $43 can get you in America. So, 2 things of breakfast sausage, 1 thing of milk, contact lens solution, coconut aminos, and a prime. $43.
This is actually getting silly now. I know I posted and asked for like protein. How do I get more protein in my diet? But guys, I can't afford it. Because how am I supposed to be affording to eat chicken for lunch and salmon for dinner every day? Like, protein is the most expensive thing you can buy. I remember there was a time where I would walk into a supermarket and I would get this, get that, that can go in the basket, that will go in the basket. I didn't even check the price, that can go in the basket. Now I look at the salmon and I walk straight past it because it is too expensive and I cannot afford it anymore. So we're gonna need some alternatives because honestly, I can't keep up with the gains if I can't afford the protein. So now what? I'm gonna have to give up some gains because honestly, it's so expensive. I've got my chicken and rice here for lunch. What's for dinner then? Honestly, please guys, send help, because is anybody else having this struggle, or is it just me?
Beans and rice is the new way to keep your gains and your pockets full. Eating meat is a luxury now.
Guys, I'm at Superstore and I haven't gone grocery shopping in a while. Like, I want to say a month, right? Food lasts us a long time. We're only a family of 3. But the prices are sending me in a literal coma. Let me show you the price of romaine lettuce just for three things of romaine lettuce. I'm sorry. What the heck? How are people like living? How are people able to survive? How is this okay? Okay, I'm like actually gonna cry. This is a joke, right? 2-pound bag of baby carrots. Like, look at this thing. It's the size of my hand. And for someone not living in British Columbia, Canada, just to give you a little price comparison, that romaine lettuce like a few months ago was like $4.99, and those baby carrots are like usually $1.99. So like, you do the math because I suck at it for inflation, okay? Now, I'm not ignorant to the prices. Like, I knew that the prices were high. It's just I haven't stepped foot in a grocery store in a while. So I didn't realize it was this bad. Like, this.
Just when you thought meat was expensive and maybe going vegan was a good solution, you find out that bunny food is hell of expensive. Now our only option is to become breatharians. Air and sunlight is all we will be able to afford if the prices don't stop going up.
These are some of the craziest recent examples of shrinkflation. Kellogg's using deceptive packaging, making the new box bigger, but it contains less than the old packaging. This is the old one, this is the new one. This new one looks bigger, but it actually just contains the same amount of product, and it costs $1 more. This one's interesting because P&G has reduced the amount of fluid from their old bottle to their new bottle. The price has stayed the same, and the amount of laundry it can do has stayed the same. So they must have just, I don't know, taken water out of the detergent. Even worse, this Redditor has found 3 different packages of Tide they've recently purchased, and while the size is getting smaller from each consecutive one, the price stays exactly the same at $20. I will admit it's difficult to see at first, but look at these Campbell's cans of SpaghettiOs. Is there any difference? When you flip it around, you'll see that the calories are different. This new one is less, 20 less calories, but why? Okay, let's look at what's inside. Here we have the old package of SpaghettiOs, and here's the new package of SpaghettiOs, but like, where are the SpaghettiOs? There's a lot less. More water. Found this one on mouseprint.org. You can see that the size has decreased from 30 fluid ounces to 22.5 ounces. That's a 25% reduction in size, but the price has stayed the same at $2.49. This has to be my favorite thing when companies just decide they're going to replace product with plastic. It's just an...
Shrinkflation is hell of real. Not only are we paying more, but we are also getting less product. That's it. I'm going to start growing my own food. Who else agrees with me?
This is fucking crazy. Before I leave Publix, I gotta show y'all these prices.
This is for a case of sodas. This used to be $3 to $4. This is $9.29 for a case of sodas. Look at this, for a case of root beer, it's $11.49. A carton of eggs is $11.39.
Come on with these prices, bro. For a bag of barbecue Lay's, $4.99. It's $5 for a bag of chips. It used to be $2.
This is insane. This is $10 for a case of Gatorade. And they had the nerve to put buy 2, get 1 free. You're paying $20
for 2 cases of Gatorade, man. That's insane. These used to be $4. And they're doing buy 2, get 1 free, making people think that they're getting a deal. It's crazy, man. What happened to our country in just 4 years? What happened?
Just 4 years ago, all of these were $1. Now we're at $3.59.
I don't know what Joe Biden has done to our country and Congress in the last 4 years, but we need a clean sweep. We need to redo our Congress, our Senate, our House of Representatives, because these people aren't favoring the people in our country. They're looking out for themselves. They're investing in stocks that favor their stocks. They're fattening the pockets of themselves and their own families. They don't care about the people. So come November, let's make this right.
This man is right. We need to do something about it, or else we are going to see crime go up and more people become homeless. How much are we going to endure?
You will not believe how much this food cost me here. Okay, this is one trip to Costco to feed one man, me,
Can you guys guess how much this food cost here? Now, to be fair, yeah, I bought some salmon. Salmon's a little expensive. Yeah, I bought some 2 tuna steaks. Those are a little expensive. And I limited myself to 1 pack of raspberries because raspberries are expensive, all right? I'm trying to be conservative here-ish, but I'm also trying to get my protein in it. Guess how much this 1 cart from Costco. Costco, oh, everything's cheap at Costco. No. Guess how much this cost. All right, you're not going to believe it. Put your guesses in the comments below. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You see that? You see that? $560 to feed 1 man for, I'm already almost through most of this food. Definitely the most expensive stuff was that 1 package of tuna was like $40. And then, we got some strip steaks and I did get a fair amount of salmon, but this is ridiculous. I don't know how people have their entire grocery budget for their family at $500 or $600. I am spending more than that on myself. I don't know how I'm going to afford a family.
If you have a family or want to start a family, you will definitely need to move to another country. I mean, Mexico seems to be improving more than us. Sooner or later, they will have to build a wall to keep us out, and they will be calling us wetbacks instead. Is anyone else struggling to feed their family in this economy?
So this, and this, that was $56 alone. But this little bit of food, plus water and ramen, $236 in Sam's Club. But why?
Tell me how this cost me over $500 in 2024. Inflation is crazy.
Oh my goodness. How much are you paying for groceries? We might need to cross the border to buy our groceries and meanwhile also put some gas. Just like Rome, we are falling apart.
I'd be starting a fight with Tropicana today, but here we are. What is this? I go to the grocery store, I think, oh, they changed the top. Maybe there's less plastic in it, that's great. But then I picked it up and immediately I knew something was incorrect. Tropicana wasn't banking on my spicy autistic brain. No, I knew immediately. I didn't even have to look at the label. 11 ounces. 12 ounces, same price. Tropicana, what are you doing? Same price, 12 ounces, 170 calories, 11 ounces, 160 calories. The math doesn't even make sense. This should only be 155 calories unless you've been lying about the calories this whole time. You also owe me 17 cents or 1 ounce of apple juice. How much money are you making by taking away an ounce? I needed that ounce. I don't drink enough as it is. I'm chronically constipated. I need all 12 ounces of apple juice. Don't charge me $1.99 for 12 ounces and also $1.99 for 11 ounces. That's not how things work. You thought you could pull this one over on us, but no, you didn't bank on Paige. You should have. You should have run this by me first. I would have told you it was a bad idea.
Totally bad idea. But hey, we just buy stuff without thinking. I start to wonder if there is hope left, since we are easily manipulated to buy things without using our brain. I bet it's those damn phones that are making us dumb.
The off-brand is $5? I genuinely feel like I need a slap on the wrist because I just left Aldi and I paid $1.19 for a huge box of off-brand Fruit Loops. They don't have any bad dyes in them. They don't have any bad ingredients, and they taste amazing. I just looked at the Fruit Loops here, $6.89. I just did the math. That is a 479% price increase. Because I have the privilege of driving 30 minutes to my nearest Aldi, I get to pay 479% less on cereal alone. If you're not in the food desert, you better be grateful. Makes my
You heard that right. It's time to start shopping at Aldi's now. We need to start saving money.
Shrinkflation's not being talked about enough. We've gotten to a point where not only things are quadruple the price, but they're also giving us half the product. They try to hide it in the most small, minute ways, but you can always tell. Even if they're just skimming a little bit off the top, they'll do anything to make that extra little bit of profit. Even fast food has cut back so much, I can eat an entire McDonald's cheeseburger in one bite if I really wanted to. Not just the size or the quantity of things, it's also the quality. Restaurants, grocery stores, fast food places, it doesn't matter. Things taste different to me. Vegetables, meat, fruit, everything. There's something about it that just tastes off, like chicken and beef. It's just disrespectful at this point. They really think we're stupid. And the thing is, I don't know if it's ever going to go back to normal. The fact that they've made record profits fooling people like this and we still buy it because we have to kind of tells me that this is never going to change. If it always comes down to quality or people over price and money being made, they're always going to choose the money being made. I swear, there was a time where you could go to the store or go to McDonald's with like $3 and feed yourself for at least a day.
Even if things are looking bad, it does not mean that we should give up and let these big companies take advantage of us. We need to shift our mindset. Everyone needs to be united. We need to help each other. We should be helping small businesses to survive. Maybe we can start shopping at your local farmer's market instead. You can slowly start to grow your own food and have some chickens in your backyard, if allowed of course. I just want you to wake up and start thinking for yourself. Take everything you hear and see with a grain of salt. Things are getting worse, but it doesn't mean that we should wait till it's too late. We need to adapt and change to our surroundings. If not, we will be left behind. For all the people who are struggling, I wish you luck, and remember to shift your mindset and achieve greatness.